recently I was in a funeral, and I saw there the rabbi from the Kochaim, the Rosh Yeshiva of our boys, of Naftali and Gilad. Eyal was older. And over the years, I've always been asking myself, how does he do this? Because over the years, as a teacher, he experienced many, many losses from the yeshiva. And yet he keeps such an open heart, such an ability to love, to connect, to really be caring. And at the Levaya, I was noticing him, and walking out, I sent him a message. Harav, this time I caught you, red-handed. I saw how you do this. All these years, I'm asking how you walk around the world with a lev shavur and don't become all, cut and protect yourself with walls that block your heart from the world to avoid so much pain. And I saw what you did. Throughout the Levaya, you were looking around and you saw this guy, he needs another hug, and this guy needs a good word. And this guy, and you kept yourself constantly busy with the people around you, noticing them and giving them what you need. I said, wow, it's so banal, it's so simple, but now I understand. And he answered me, yeah, what do you, Rabbi Nachman said on the pasuk, ונתן לך רחמים וריחמך, that when you want the mercy of God, it's when you care about others, when you have rachamim for others, when you notice, when you have compassion, you get rachamim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? That's the way these things work. It's one of the major ways, first of all, to do something good, because it means so much to the people that receive, but also strengthening yourself and experiencing yourself as someone who's capable to take part in this thing. Do you let me add more things?
Yeah, I want to interject really quick something that you mentioned, and to just highlight. I love the responsibility that you empower people to have with their hope. So it's not just this passive experience of, throw my hands up, but there's a role that we participate in the tikva. It's what came to mind was the distinction in the articulation of Bob Marley, who says every little thing will be all right, like it'll just be all right, versus Rabbi Nachman, who says Ein Shum Yush, and he says Im ata ma'amin she'efshar lekalkel, vadai she'efshar letaken. But efshar letaken means that you need to do the tikkun. You have to have the hope and know that you play a role in the tikkun.
Absolutely. So in response to what you just said, okay, on Monday night we were in the funeral of Amitai Tzvi Granot, the son of Tamir Granot that I mentioned before, and his mother Avivit was eulogizing, and then she said, we are in endless pain, but don't be sad. Al tiyu atzuvim. Atzvut ze shorosh hayush. Sadness is the root of despair. The en shum yush ba'olam klal. Okay, and that thing needs translation, because what do you mean we are experiencing endless pain, but don't be sad? How exactly is that supposed to work? And in one of the most famous passages of Reb Nachman, he says, "Lev shavur v'atzvut." It's not the same thing. Being heartbroken, being vulnerable, and holding the pain, experiencing it. Sometimes that's the point you're at, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu covers with love and with mercy. But atzvut, in other words, depression, that's a poison. Despair, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu soneh. That's what Reb Nachman says, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates it. And he says, if maybe we should all be walking around with lev shavur, with our hearts on our sleeves. But people like us, we might get to sadness from that. It's not, maybe we should spend 1 hour a day, maybe, belev shavu. The rest of the time we have to work on our simcha. But it's exactly what you just said. We spoke about the way we can be meaningful to other people. And I want to add one more perspective to it. A few years ago, my job sent me to Florida, and we were working all day. And we took a break. We went to a kosher restaurant. So we were a bunch of people. We were eating, and when we came to pay, the cashier person said, "Oh, somebody already picked up your bill." And the truth is, I felt, it was very clear what happened. It might have been 4 years after the event, but someone, a good-hearted Jew, saw me, recognized me, his heart opened, and he wanted to do something. So he went over and, like in the movies, he said, "That table, the bill's on me." And, and, I stood there and I felt horrible. What, can't I pay my own check? What's And then a very wise woman I was working with, Harriet, she turns to me and she said, "Rachel, never feel bad when you're a vessel for another person to bring out the best in themselves. Okay? Never feel bad when you're a way for another person to bring out the best of themselves." And to me, it was a huge lesson, because people say, "Oh, we should always be zoche, to be from the givers." But life doesn't work. Sometimes you give, sometimes you receive. It's we're all bound together. So sometimes the greatest gift you can give a person is being open to receive from them. And sometimes you grow better through someone else. Sometimes they grow better, or they express their goodness through you. So that's also a role a person should be open to accept.
That's stunning.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I know you're extremely busy, and thank you so much for giving us your time today, for telling us your story, and for giving really strong call to action for everybody who's listening to this in Israel and America. I would tell you, give last words of chizuk to everyone in America, but I think you did. I think you said everything that people could be feeling and should be doing. So I really, really appreciate you giving us your time, and you should continue to be mechazik, and only simchas, only brachas.
The chizuk it exists within Am Yisrael. It exists in every individual and every family and every community. It's just about letting it express it ourselves. Sometimes we feel that in times like this, we should become small and turn our head down and turn inwards. It's about finding our power. That's our resilience. Finding our power that exists and expressing it.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you so much for empowering us with such hope and for spreading such light. And may we join you, B'karav Mamish, B'meir V'yameinu, in the Holy Land.